One. God bless you, my brothers and sisters. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, I want you to do me a favor. If you're watching this live, if you've tuned in, listen, I need for you to share this, get this word out. We're going to be having an incredible conversation with my friend. I'm going to be bringing him on in just a moment. But before we do that, please share this video. Get this information out there. Invite somebody in, whether you're on Facebook. If you can push the Instagram, go ahead and do that. Click in, tag somebody, because I promise you this is going to be a very, very good conversation with a lifelong friend of mine. And I'm just excited about what God is doing in his life. And I know this is Midweek Refuel. And on last Wednesday, we had an opportunity to bring on my good friend Daniel Moody from Memphis, and we had an opportunity to talk about crisis management, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. He relocated to the Dallas area and is doing phenomenal out there, and we got some good information. And so that's what I wanted to use these Wednesday nights for, was to talk with business owners, entrepreneurs. And I know we're living in a time of crisis and pandemic, but some good stuff is being birthed even on bad days. And so I'm excited about Jesus today. I'm excited about you, and you. Listen, we know that on Wednesday nights, some of you may want an opportunity to sow into the ministry of Word of Life Church. And so we always put those platforms online, and we're going to do that, give you 3 opportunities to share digitally. For those of you who are members of Word of Life Church, we've left some instructions to where you can go and you can sow your seed right there at the church tangibly. There's a drop box. If you want to stick it in there, just make sure that you label your envelope and sow your seed. But for those of you digitally who want to sow into this platform, you can give by Givelify. You will see that on your screens. If you download that on Instagram or on Apple or Android devices, you can go there now and look us up. We're listed Word of Life Church. Type in Pastor Clydell White. You'll see a picture of myself and First Lady White pull up. And then the second way that you can give, you can do it by PayPal if you like. We're listed Word of Life Texarkana on PayPal. And then if you're on Cash App, I know that's a very popular platform of giving, you can go to $WOL Texarkana. Again, $WOL Texarkana, and that is on Cash App. Well, please listen, take a moment and do that. And if you want to give your giving appeal now, please do so. We'll also share some information at the end of this telecast and give you another opportunity to give and to sow. But listen. Tonight we have some incredible stuff that we're going to be sharing. I'm getting ready to bring on a friend of mine for probably about 20 years. Myself and First Lady White was talking about how long it's actually been, and I believe that it's been about 20 years since I had an opportunity to meet this incredible man of God. He's doing some great things there where he's at. He is in the city of Racine, Wisconsin, streaming in to us tonight. He is a national recording artist. God has blessed him with a phenomenal career. And guess what, y'all? He is dropping an album. Yes, that is right. An album, amen. And so we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to hear from him, because I want you to do me a favor. And please, when the information is shared, download it, reach out, connect. You want to be a part of what God is doing in this young man's life. So without further ado, my good friend, all the way from Racine, Wisconsin, Dr. David Billingsley. Are you on the air, sir? Welcome.
I am here. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Man, hey, it's a blessing, man, just to see you, man. It's been a minute, and I know we on quarantine, but hey, man, how you doing, Doc?
Man, I'm great, man. You know, I can't complain. I'm healthy. Man, I'm thankful. And you know, we're moving forward even in a pandemic. Who would have thought, you know?
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing, man. You know, what I wanted to, I remember back in the day, man, old school days of Racine, Wisconsin, the first time I had the privilege to come and just sharing ministry at that time. I believe it was at Greater Grace with Pastor Jetty Cornett. Yes, sir. I'll never forget it, man. So we had some crazy church, you know, but we was young back then. You know, now we all beard gang and everything. We got the grays and the beard, man, and it's like 20 years later. And man, let me tell you, we just had a phenomenal time. You have an incredible family. Just appreciate what your mother did for us years ago, man. We still to this day have not had burritos and tacos like she made, Doc.
Mama got
Let
the
me tell
best.
you, she got the best, man. We got to give it to her. Matter of fact, how is she doing?
Mom is good. Thanks
Awesome.
for asking, man. We've been praying for her and she's been pulling through. As of lately, she ain't been in the hospital, in about over
Praise
a month,
God.
which is a good thing. She's fighting and she's in good stand and she's staying in the house, which is a
Hey,
blessing.
that's what's up.
And just staying protected but she's doing real good. And actually, you're gonna hear a little bit about her a little bit later. She's actually on the album.
What?
Yeah, man. I had to throw her on there. You can't have a record without mama on it, right?
That's it. Come on. Yes, sir.
So mom is on there, man, and she's just giving the people what she's doing what she does, man. It's just speaking life to people, man. Trying to give some people some hope, some joy, and some strength to carry on in these times, man. So yeah, mom is great though, man. Thanks for asking.
Man, that's awesome, man. And like you said, man, these truly are unique times. I don't think that when we went into the year 2020, even though we know, man, the church was heavily cliche about this being the year of vision in 2020, I don't believe nobody actually saw this, what we're dealing with right now. But great things are being birthed in the process of a pandemic. And that's kind of why I wanted to highlight these business owners such as yourself and people that are doing great things. I followed you for some time and I've seen you just soar, man, and take off. I know who David Billingsley is, but a lot of people who are watching this live have not had the privilege because you always had the gift, Doc. I mean, back when you was a little teenager, man, you had the gift, man. You was a maestro on the keys and on the organ. But what I wanted to ask you, because in the church, I mean, I think it's safe to say that some of the best musicians are produced from the church.
Yes, sir.
And what I like about what you've done, talk to us just a little bit about how you transitioned from just having the gift playing by ear to actually making a career out of music. Because if I'm not mistaken, you actually went to college for a major in music, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep, I went all out with it. Man, if you don't know me, I would say I started at 6 years old. Like he said, they call me what's called a child prodigy. Those are those kids who you put on a tape and they can play it back within a couple minutes and they just can do that. God gave me that gift. I didn't know. Even musicians don't even have that gift. A lot of musicians can't do that. Um, and I didn't know it, but I just had a gift. I had something special. I started as a kid, like in elementary, preschool. This kid has a gift. He's singing, he's moving, he's using instruments, playing tambourines, toy saxophones. That's how I got my start. 6 years old. My grandma, I'm a PK, so my grandfather, I lived with them, and she was the Sunday school superintendent, man. We were at church. That's where we were all the time. Vacation Bible School, we were the ones putting it on. The plays, that was my grandma. The Easter speeches, that was my grandma. So I learned how to speak in the church. I learned how to public speak. I learned how to perform in front of people. Started playing Happy Birthday for Sunday school. That's how I got my start. Anytime a kid had a birthday, I got a little nervous, a little excited to get up there and do my thing. And that was the opportunity that was given. That ended up turning into playing the tambourine, eventually becoming the church organist. From that, moving on to another church, doing 2-3 churches, playing for artists, having my own group at the age of 16 called Dominion, graduating from high school. Yeah, that's how we met, actually.
Absolutely.
We were young, like 16 years old, trying to do music. And the group, we went to Chicago. We also went to Texarkana with Pastor White, and it was amazing, man. We still talk about those times. We were doing something way ahead of our time. We didn't even realize, we were touring and all that stuff before we even knew what that was, but really it was just fellowship, and that's what it's always been all these 20 years. So I thank you for that. But then after that, just went to college, went to basically an all white school in Eau Claire, maybe like 3% Black. People of color there, and they didn't have a gospel choir at the time. So I started one. We had 10 people, went to 150 in 4 years. But also during that time, there was no diversity. So I had to go up to the Twin Cities on the weekends. And that's where I really, really started to hit the ground running and starting to meet people. My first week there, I met Darnell Davis, who is he's a pillar of gospel music in the Twin Cities. Darnell Davis and the Remnant and Grammys and Stellars and all that. Met him day one. We hit it off. He heard me play. He was like, "Oh man, will you play for my group? Will you go to Italy? Will you?" And so that just really opened up the door for this level of what I've been doing. And so since then, connected with the Sounds of Blackness, different artists here in the Twin Cities, James Greer and Company. These people, they've been in the game a long time. They have Grammys. They've done a lot. They recorded a lot of music, and they get I'm a product of Minnesota, Minneapolis, the Minneapolis sound, and all of that culminated in now me playing for Stokely Williams of Mint Condition. He has his own, he's solo now. We've been solo for like the last 2 or 3 years, and it's called Stokely and the View. And so I play with them. They're going to kill me because I just messed up that name, Stokely and the View. And so, but play for them. And, I've sing background vocals for Stoke, and we travel the world playing music and sharing music all over the world. I remember, never forget, at your, when we were with you, Pastor Chris Hill, he was like, your songs are going to be sung in stadiums all over the world.
Yes, sir.
I had no
yes,
clue
sir.
what he was talking about. I was like, that blew me away. I was like, what? For real? Is that possible? And honestly, man, that happened, man. The Minnesota Twins picked up one of our songs and they played it for me. My friend Dan Edwards, he played it for us, and I was like, wow, like our song is in the stadium right now. Right now, Stokely has the #1 song in the world, on the Billboard, and that's killing. And so, you know what I mean? It's that this is the career that I've chosen. It hasn't been easy. I had to make some tough decisions and sacrifices a lot, but it's been worth it, man, because people's lives are being changed and blessed and healed. Whether it's in the church, whether I'm outside the church, wherever I'm at, I'm representing who I am and what grandma's living room everywhere I go. It's gonna feel like home. And we're just going to go hard for God. You're going to feel the Spirit of God in everything we do. It's just how it is. And so, man, that's kind of been my career, man, but it's just been, serving people and trying to make communities better. But now it's to the point where I'm ready to kind of launch off and do some solo stuff and put out my own sound. And I've never done that before, just like strictly me, no rules or regulations or play it this way or that way, because I can do that too. Anything you throw at me, I can try to get there for the most part. But this is my first time just saying, throw everything out the window and let God do what he does in me every day, And so the title of the record is Hymns from Grandma's Living Room, because literally the piano was an upright piano that we had in the living room, man. And Grandma would turn that TV off. I would start my lessons, tinkering around. This Is the Day was my first little song, sounding a mess. She would sing along with me though right away. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is music. You can really do this. And so once I started doing it, man, after a while, like God just started to use me at a young age where I was just flying on those keys, man. Sometimes we would just be singing songs. She would just start crying, praying.
Wow.
And I wouldn't stop because I'm like, oh, this is doing something. Let's keep this going. I didn't know what that was at the time, but we were doing music ministry, man. And it was so for me, it's never been about the gig. It's never been about the money, the stage or the lights. It's about helping that soul that's sitting in that recliner. You know what I mean? That's feeding your soul and spirit every day. And you finding a way to contribute and give back to her. And so, man, that's how I opened the record, man, with a handwritten letter that my grandma wrote me when I graduated from high school. And she just talks about it. She's like, thank you for what you did. It like helped me get through my life, literally.
Wow.
Like when we would sing and when we would pray and when we would praise and sometimes for hours, we would just go off. And, and I realized that was just the presence of God, like just sitting with us and helping us, you know what I mean? Calming our spirits. We're able to release and do what we need to do. The art saved my life, man. And I know it saved my grandma's life, because she tells me about it. She says, thank you. The hymns revived me. They restored me. They gave me strength to carry on. You playing the Psalms, the hymns and the Psalms and the spiritual songs. And that's what it's about, man. The Bible talks about that specifically, singing each other in Psalms and spirituals and hymns. And I think we've gotten away from that as a church. Like we're really into the arrangements and making it big and busy and the computers popping and Pro Tools and everything is going. But at the end of the day, it's all about that living room, man, sitting with one or two, communing with God, sharing his word, sharing songs, sharing spirit, and being changed through that. And so that's where I'm at, man. I'm kind of taking all the technology away. It's just a piano, man. It's just me and the piano. And it's just time to sit in grandma's living room and do what we do every day. So this is just, it took me literally 3 hours to make this record, man. 14 songs. I did two albums in 8 hours. Just went in and I just sat at the piano and just let it out. And so we got a record coming out this month and a record coming out next month. This stuff was already done. And so now I'm just putting it together. These times, of course, made me really accelerate what I did. So I started a LLC. It cost $150. I got the business license the same day via
Yes,
email.
sir.
Got my EIN the same day. That was free. I was ready to go. That's all I needed. I had to register my business name. That was free. All I paid was the 150. Got my LLC, got it done, set up the QuickBooks. And we have a business in about 3-4 weeks now. It really once
Wow.
the pandemic hit, it made me accelerate. I knew I had been planning this record for a long time. I have many more records that I'm planning right now, but I knew I wanted to do this one first because this is home for me. This is my roots. This is where I started, and so I kind of want to tell that story in that way. But the pandemic made me rush it out, man, because the people need it now. People are dying. We have
Yeah.
over 36,000 who are passed away. And I can't let another soul slip away without at least giving them an opportunity to hear this somewhere across the
That's
world, the
it.
country. And so this music is going out all around the world, man, on Friday. People there from everywhere will be able to get access to it on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube. We're going to have videos going, all kind of stuff, just to people can't forget these hymns, man. And I think that we are starting to forget them a little bit and the musicians don't even know how to play them, and so we gotta,
Yeah.
to me, this is just low key. I'm just like trying to leave something for the next generation. So y'all know how we sounded, how it was, just in case anything ever does go down, God forbid,
Sure.
but
Sure. Absolutely.
we have to let the next generation know, this is how it's done. This is what we did. This is how it sounds. And this is what you have to carry into the rest of life.
Absolutely. And I think that's very important, man, that we preserve the sound of the church because we're called to be set apart. So we ought to have our own sound. And I think it's important, especially using the term hymns. When I first got wind of what the title of the album was, I got excited, especially because I mean, you're a millennial, man, but you're an old soul in the way that you was raised. And I'm the same way, man. I was raised old school. I'm the fourth child in the family. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. My parents are in their 70s. So I was on that last wave of getting raised, old school, Church of God in Christ. We grew up with the hymns. And so, it's what took us through and carried us over. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a lot of new stuff, like you said, that's popping and it sound good to play when you want to bob, in the car. But what's really going to take you into the presence of God, man, are the hymns. So we cannot get away from that. And I'm excited that you took it there, man. You've got a piece, so many incredible pieces on the album, but just with what you sent me, I had an opportunity. You got a song called Altar Call, Doc. And man, let me tell you,
come on, man.
As a preacher, as out of what they're in, that's why we got to pull them out. So that's why it's always called a pulpit, man. And so altar call really, I didn't know that.
Really?
Me, man.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You better teach,
yes, sir.
Doc. You better teach.
Doc,
okay.
Let me tell you, we gotta pull them out of there, man. So I was listening to altar call, and just the first 30 seconds of that record, man, was just incredible. I mean, it took me there like almost instantly. And we're going to get a clip in just a few moments of that because I want the people to be able to hear that sound, man. And there's so much on this album that's just incredible, man. You poured your heart and soul into this, and I can't wait to support, man. Now tell me,
that means so much, man. That means so much, bro.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You're passionate about giving back, and if I'm not mistaken, you created a tool for urban and inner city youth through BSUMA, if I've got that name correct,
BSUMA.
And that is the Billingsley School of Arts,
Billingsley Music and Art.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell us about how that came about.
Well, when I was a kid, piano, my dad, for some reason, he got me piano lessons when I was 6, man. The place is boarded up and shut down now. I just rode past there. But where I was getting lessons at, man, I didn't realize that was abnormal for a Black kid to be learning how to read music and to go to lessons every week. I've had lessons every week for about 30 years, even as an adult. I'm in college and all of that. And so, Dad just brought that opportunity to me. He paid for those lessons, man, and I started to excel in that. I didn't know that I could do it, but and then I ended up in competitions and even went to state, got my little honorable mention. I don't know if it was because I was black or if I was really good. I'm still trying to decide that, but obviously it was because I was good. I don't give myself enough credit sometimes. No, so grew up that way, but I didn't see other people like me. I was the only one in college, especially in Eau Claire. I was the only black kid in most of my classes. And all my music stuff. I didn't see other black kids doing music until I went to Houston and went to the NAACP AXO competition, where they bring
Wow.
all the kids of color from all over the country together for 3 days for a huge celebration and like an award show. It's like the Grammys for kids, for black kids, man. It's amazing. I met a lot of people there. I saw kids playing clarinet, violin, classically trained, amazing musicians. I didn't place in the nationals, unfortunately, but I went and I experienced and I learned, and it made me want to keep getting better, man, and to keep, sharpening my tools. And so anyway, did all that. And so I just realized, man, that our kids, there's a huge access issue. Our kids aren't getting access to the arts like they used to. That's why we don't have Miles Davis and Louis Armstrongs anymore and the Princes of the world. They all grew up in music programs. They started in bands, like, marching bands or whatever, and they learn how to play their instrument and learn those fundamentals and do all of that stuff. And since that has gone away a lot, they've cut the funding to focus more on reading and math skills. But with that, the arts have suffered. And so, man, right now my goal it's changed. Honestly, I was helping hundreds of kids, man. We were doing programming and things of that nature. But I've really kind of sharpened up what that's going to look like from here on out. I want 10 kids, man. I have two. I call them disciples, like Jesus. Jesus had 12. I want 12. Then I can retire happy. I have two right now who are professionals who are playing all over. Corey Stampley, he's out in LA. Yanni Davis, he's another protege of mine who plays in the Twin Cities all over the place, got on Billboard already. They're doing great things. Corey played for D-Smoke, played for Stokely for me when I couldn't make it. This is the real, these guys are the real deal. And they do this every day. And so I'm looking for 10 more of those. And so
now let me back up right quick, because a lot of people ain't catching this. When you say Stokely, now I know who that is, and anybody who really knows music knows who that is. But we got some church folks watching, so let me help them.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot this is a church show.
Hey, we got some church folks watching. So for all of those that are in the church, you may not know the term or name Stokely, but that is the lead singer for the group that was known as Mint Condition. Okay, Mint Condition. So that's huge, man. Just for you even to land that gig, man, and to be able to tour with somebody like that, man, who's been in the game since, as long as I can remember. I grew up listening to Mint Condition, man. They were one of the top bands to ever come out of Minnesota, and also to have the blessing of Prince. I was seeing, one of these statements that you was making on your wall the other day, just how he pretty much spoke into, Stokely's life and, the accomplishments that he's achieved. So to be able to tour with him is huge, man. So I'm pretty sure that is an experience of a lifetime, just to be able to play for somebody like that. And I think what's cool is that you have that type of opportunity, but yet you still pursued your passion on bringing out this album. Most people would have got to that point and said, okay, hey, I've arrived. That's it. I'm satisfied. Let me just do this. But that's how I know God was really urging you to do what you did, especially in a time like this, because you took it back to the church, back to the basics, back to the hymns, man. So I want to salute you for that.
Yeah. Oh, man, that means a lot. It hit me when we went to DC, man. We stay in all these crazy hotels. They fly us everywhere. Not now, of course, but it's beautiful what happens on the road and with music and with Stokely. We went to the African American History Museum, and Mint Condition's name is in there. I'm like, yo,
wow.
This is Black history.
Yes,
But it's now and it's happening, you know what I mean? And I'm just so glad to be a part of it, man. The nice thing though about Stoke, man, one thing that he's an amazing person, man. One of the best I've met. I think about church people, and how they treat me. Stoke, man. Stoke is amazing. He treats me better than church folks sometimes, man. Like I'm telling you, he loves me, man. And what he does is he pushes us all to be the best we can be. He's like, it's like training with tell people. I feel like I'm working out with Adrian Peterson every day. Like that's just the level he's on. And so, but he encourages us, man, to put out records, put out energy, like put out positive vibes, heal our country, heal our world, and that's really that's where we come from, man. That's the heart of what it is we do. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, we can do some licks and things like that, but it's really about changing lives, man, and getting people to tears and to their knees and to a relationship that's closer to God and to healing and to health and eating right and doing your finances and budgeting and getting, doing all it's a life out here. It's a life. And through our music, we're trying to get people to see life.
Man, that's awesome, man. Listen, I want to play a clip. And again, it's just me, man. I favor altar call, Doc. I mean, I just favor, man, because it'll take you there, man. So I want Brother Anthony, who's behind the scenes, if he can bring up a piece of that. We may not play it all the way through because of the timeline, but we definitely want to bring you back on after this and give you an opportunity to share again how people can connect with you, how we can get this album. I believe that there's an opportunity for a pre-release. If we get it in a certain amount of time, we can get songs early. So we'll bring it back on for that. Brother Anthony, man, can you roll what you have, man? If we can get about maybe a minute or two of that.
You're so good, God. We're here for you today. Do what you want to do in our lives. Have your way. We're your vessel. We are the clay. You are the potter. Mold us, shape us, fill us. Use us, revive us, restore us. We can't do anything without you, God. Where would we be without your grace? Where would we be without your mercy, your love, your kindness, your peace, your compassion? We're so thankful. You deserve deserve honor and praise. You're a great, great, great God. The things you do are so dope. The things you do are so amazing. Time and time again, over and over, you keep making ways. Just when I'm about to give up, you step right in. Don't know the answer, you show the way.
Well, listen, this right here is, I know it blessed y'all because it's blessing me. It is blessing me. Altar call, listen, you need to get this album, Hymns from Grandmother's Living Room. David, please. Listen, man, how can we connect once again? And also, we're going to put it on the screen of how you can get that. If I'm not mistaken, there are some benefits to us pre-ordering, correct?
Yeah, pre-orders go on sale starting Friday. Okay. You can get the album all over. It's going to be on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We'll have some stuff there. Deezer. We'll be on Deezer. So check it out. Some videos are going to be coming out of some people that are covering some of the songs. So some celebrities are hitting it soon, and so we're going to release some of that video footage soon. They singing over the piano stuff, so we're going to enjoy some of that as well. Things are happening. But the main way to get in touch is BillingslyMusic.com. Everything you need is right there. Links to everything. You sign up for the email list. You can buy a shirt, Hymns from Grandma Living Room shirt. We got shirts. We have sheet music. I'm trying to leave a legacy, man, and put some transcriptions out there. Us, and so I got right now I have the advanced version. I'm going to make a student version soon, but you can buy the actual music notes of what I played and take that home and work on it. Figure out passages that you heard that you like. You can take those. I'm giving all this stuff away, man. It's not about me. It's about giving it to everybody else. So I hope musicians use this. I hope people use this to help them get through these times, man. But BillingsleyMusic.com. That's all you need. That's all you need. Everything that you need to do is right there. Sign up for the email list. I can do video lessons with you. You can get a subscription for $20 a month and get unlimited. And I'm sending you sneak tracks and stuff I'm working on the side and things no one else has heard. Just a lot of different ways to get involved. But yeah, and also stream the music, man. Share on Friday, especially. If we all share it, people can be like, what's going on? We can make God real big right now. We can do some things and cause it's going to change people's lives, man, but they need to hear it. They need to know it's around. And so I just ask that y'all share it, man, and go to Billingsley Music, BillingsleyMusic.com. I know it's long. I couldn't find nothing shorter. The domains is hard to get nowadays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They buy up all the short ones.
Yeah, and then you got to pay a bunch of money for them too. I'm like,
absolutely.
Just because
you know what,
man, come on.
The internet game,
what happened
man.
To the 1099 domain.
Absolutely. The internet game is just like the real estate game, man. People buy up the land, and if you want to use this land and build something in the future, then boom, you got to pay. So it's the same way with the website game, man. People just buy random website handles, website pages, and if you want it, you got to pay extra, man. But hey, listen, it's incredible, man, what God is doing in your life. Love your spirit, man. Love the humility that you have retained through the years. You have not changed, man. You've been the same David that I knew back in the gap, man. Even with such an impressive career that God has afforded you in your life, man, you never changed. And that's huge, man, because who we are when no one is around is what character really is, man. And you maintained your character and integrity. So I'm cheering for you, Doc. I'm rooting for you, man. We can't wait till this Friday. We're going to be sharing.
Love you, man.
And love you too, man. Love you too, man. Give my blessing to your mother, your siblings, man, and everyone in your household, man. And, we're praying for you. Tell everybody we said hello. What's up? Well, listen.
Yeah.
Once again, y'all, David Billingsley, hymns from Grandmother's Living Room. Listen, I want y'all to connect with this man. Reach out, share this, get this information out there. We need to preserve the sound of the church. And that is exactly what he has done with this album. Well, listen, once again, for those of you who may want an opportunity to sow into the ministry of Word of Life Church, again, we list those 3 platforms. Share, please. This coming Friday, pre-order, get your 3 free songs. Let's connect. Like he said, let's make God big. In the midst of this pandemic, there's enough negative news going on. Let's share something positive. Hey, man, love you, brother. We're getting ready to sign off. We'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir. Blessings.
Take care. Peace.